Hey nails babes, Wagwan. Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing a very simple set ombre with some cuticle stones. And yeah, let's just jump right in this video. So as you guys can see, I already prepped my nails. Everything is nice and ready for our tip application. So whenever I'm measuring my tips, I always make sure that they fit from sidewall to sidewall. You never want to use a tip that is too small, because then your nails can break. Your application is not going to be as nice and smooth as it should be. So make sure that whenever you measure your tips, it's fitting from sidewall to sidewall. If you cannot find a tip that fits exactly, get the tip that's bigger. You can always use your scissors or use like a hand file and shave this and file the sides down. But just make sure that they are fitting from side to side, because this is where you're going to have your strength. So I'm using the KDS glue. Usually I go in and I just put the glue on the client's natural nail, then I glue the tips on. Whenever you're gluing your tips, you only need to glue the tips at the free edge of the client's nail. You do not need to put the tip halfway through the nail. So make sure whenever you glue, you put the tip all the way at the free edge. You want to leave as much of the nail bed as possible to work on. The more nail bed you leave, your nail is going to last longer, because the product have more space to adhere to. So you want to make sure that you're not gluing your tip too far down on the client's nail. It's really not necessary. It's way better, more efficient if you glue the tip at the free edge of the client's natural nail, just like how you see I'm doing in the video. Whenever I glue the tips down, I make sure that I press the sides. That way everything is nice and snug. Then I'm going to come in with my scissors and cut the tip to the client's desired length. Whenever I cut, I let the client look at the nail just to see if that's the length that they want before I proceed to cutting the other nail. Then I measure the nails from putting them against each other. When I put the nails against each other, I align the cuticles, because that's how you're going to be able to make sure that all the nails are on the same length. So that's what you want to make sure. So the second hand, whenever I cut the second hand, I just kind of guesstimate based on the first hand, and then I'm just going to come in and put the second hand against the first hand, and then I cut, making sure everything is on the same length. If I'm not sure, I usually cut the second hand a tad bit longer. That way, if I need to cut more, it's going to be off the second hand, not the first hand, because the first hand is the length that the client wants. So if you're not sure when you're cutting the second hand, cut it a tad bit longer than what you know it's supposed to be, or just go longer, because that way you can, you know, take some off the second hand. It's a bad idea to keep cutting the first hand down, because that was the client's desired length. We're going to be doing coffin, so I'm going to come in with my scissors, kind of do like a quick pre-shape. I always do this because it helps me to cut down like 5 minutes of my time. 5 minutes in doing nails is a lot of time. So I just usually come in with my scissors, remove all that excess, and then I use my hand file and I come in and I just do all the detailed work. But at least I do not have to file all the sides down. These tips are my coffin tips, and every product that I use in this video is going to be in the description box. So please check the description box for all the products used in this video. These are the coffin tips, and they're on my website as well. So now I'm going to come in with my 100 grit hand file, and I'm just going to shape the sides of the nail, making sure I get my side walls nice and straight. And whenever I'm filing, I make sure that I'm not filing the groove of the nail, the side walls, because I do not want to file the tip I do not want to remove the tip that I just glued on the side for the strength. I don't want to remove that. So I'm not trying to file like down in the sidewall. I'm just coming right where the sidewall starts at the tip, and I'm just going to come all the way to the free edge of the nail. So make sure that you're not filing all your sidewalls out. Also, whenever you're filing, you want to make sure you're holding your file at a 45-degree angle. You want to always make sure that your file is connected throughout the nail. Whenever you file, you need to be filing with intention. Don't just be filing. Make sure you keep alternating, keep changing your sides, looking at the nail, because if you keep filing one side, you can possibly make your nail crooked. So make sure you keep changing sides. And also you want to make sure you get the free edge of the tips nice and straight. It's always better to pre-shape your tips, because that way when you apply, you can apply nice and neat. And then when after your acrylic application, you're not going to have that much filing to do. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to blend the tip to the natural nail. I always blend my tip to my natural nails because it gives me a smoother application. Whenever I don't do this, I sometimes can see the ledge through my acrylic. If it's a very light acrylic, it's going to be like a high possibility you're going to be able to see the ledge through your acrylic. And also, I believe that when you blend the tip, it makes your nail last longer. That's just my thing. But I always blend my tips. You can use your drill or you can use your hand file. Now I'm coming in with my duster. I'm going to remove all that dust from the natural nail. Never leave the dust on the natural nail, because you're going to have lifting. You want the natural nail to be nice and clean. Now I'm going to come in with my lint-free wipes, and I'm going to use my dehydrator and go over the client's natural nail. The dehydrator and the primer I only put on the client's natural nail, because the purpose of this is for the acrylic to bond properly to the natural nail. It's not for the acrylic to bond to the tip. So I do not waste my product putting my dehydrator or my primer over the tip. I'm using my Viva paper towel. You're going to need a very good paper towel, because if you have the regular paper towel that's not made or that's not very useful with acrylic application, you need something that when you wipe it on your paper towel, it is going to remove the acrylic off your brush. So make sure you're using paper towels that's getting the job done, because you want to save your brush for a very long time. And this is the Viva paper towel, the cloth one. Now I'm coming in. This white that I'm using is called coconut milk. This white, guys, super soft. So if you're looking for a soft white, coconut milk is definitely the white for you. It's perfect for ombres, very subtle. So I came in with my first bead and I placed that right where the tip and the natural nail meet, making sure the client's finger is facing downward. That way the acrylic is going to naturally flow to the tip of the nail. So you want to always make sure that the finger is facing towards the paper towel. Then I'm going to come in with Naomi Nude, place that just above the cuticle, making sure the finger is facing down, and I'm going to just gently tuck this acrylic towards the cuticle and flush it in the white. Whenever you're doing an ombre, if you want a smooth transition, try to make sure you blend the colors while it's wet. Like when I came in with Naomi Nude, I did not let it sit there and get dry. You know, I kind of like blend it in the white while it's wet, because this way you're going to have like a smooth transition and you're not going to be able to see any streaks. Of course, I came in with my clear acrylic and I sealed my ombre. You always want to make sure you seal your ombre. That way when you come in to file, you're not going to file directly in your design. I'm going to mix some nude and white, like a quick marble design on the ring finger. And whenever you're doing marble, I cannot tell you how to do a marble. Whatever you mix, that's what it's going to look like. And also with marble, all fingers are not going to look the same. This nude was a little too light for the marble, so the nude didn't really like pronounce. It didn't show up how I would love it to show. So, but we still went ahead. The design came out super cute, but like I said, it was a very soft look. So I'm going to come in with my clear and I'm going to encapsulate this design. Encapsulation is whenever you do any types of glitter or ombre, any type of design that you do not want to file off when you're drilling. You want to make sure you encapsulate it with clear. That way when you come in to drill, you're only going to be drilling the clear, not the actual design. Again, I'm coming in with coconut milk and I'm just going to place this right where the tip and the natural nail meet. Blending the back of my bead, because one more thing when you're doing ombre, you never want to leave a sharp line, because you are going to be able to see that line through your ombre. And to, you know, if you want your ombre to look very, very good, you always want to make sure you blend the back of the bead. That way it does not show. Placing the bead right where the tip, right in the cuticle, and I'm going to flush that bead in the white. Do you guys see like the difference, how this white gives such a nice and subtle transition, making the ombre look so good. I do not like using a bright white to do ombre because the nail just looks super fake. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't like seeing ombre with very bright white. So I'm always going for like a softer look, a softer white when it comes down to ombre. I am using a number 12 Kolinsky brush, also available on my website. Link will be in the description. Love this brush. Have been using it for the past like 8 months. And as you guys can see, everything is still looking good. Also, whenever I'm applying, I want to do like a video, because I'm currently doing a one-on-one class, and I think now is the time to do like liquid to powder ratio videos for YouTube, because it's like I could see the mistakes that you guys are making now that I'm currently in the process of doing a one-on-one. I can see like what she's doing wrong and all that stuff. One of the main things that I noticed is when she placed the bead down, she does not press it. She just put the bead down and start guiding it to the tip of the nail. If you do that, the bead is not going to flow towards the side. So because when you place the bead down, you also want to cover the side of the tip. So if I place my bead, I give it a press. When I press it, the bead goes off to the side and also to the tip of the nail. You're not pressing it hard. You're just giving it like a gentle press. It's like telling the bead, okay, go off to the side and flow to the front. So you holding the nail down is going to flow to the front, and when you press it a little bit, it's going to flow directly in the side walls and also in the cuticle. But you have to push the acrylic where you want it. Also, whenever you're applying your acrylic, you don't want to keep using the tip of your brush and keep jabbing your acrylic. Whenever you feathering it, you have to use like light motions, because also you don't want to keep removing your product. So you have to be like very careful whenever you're applying. Don't remove the product that you're putting on the nail, because you're just giving yourself so much extra work. And also whenever you're working, make sure you keep cleaning up your sidewalls, because you always want to keep the shape of your nails. So whenever I'm working, that's how I'm able to cut back on time, because I keep cleaning the sidewalls up. That way when I come into shape, I have very minimal filing to do. So that's one thing, just keep wiping your sides. Whenever I work, I have a set routine. Always make sure you get a routine and stick to it. This way you're going to be able to save so much time. If every time you come in to do nails you keep switching up what you do, it's going to be very, very confusing. So you want to just pick a routine and stick to it. You know that whenever you start from your pinky finger directly to your thumb. Pinky, ring, middle, pointer, thumb. And then you go to the next hand and you do the same thing. You know, try to keep a routine. This is the only way you're going to be able to cut back on so much time. Also, what I do, I keep my workstation very, very clean. As soon as I know this is very hard, guys, but trust me, because this was a hard one for me. It's so hard for me to keep the workstation clean. Worse if I'm back to back with clients, you know, but lately I've been doing so much better. So what I do, whenever I use something, I don't just put it on the side of the table, because that's what I used to do. I just put it on the side and be like, okay, after my client, I'm going to put it back. But now, as soon as I'm done with it, I just put it back where it's supposed to go. I do not wait until I'm done, nothing. So I think when you're working with a nice and organized area, it really make you cut back on time as well. It might look like it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal, because when you know where everything is, you don't have to keep searching for stuff and all that extra stuff. It makes a huge difference. So that's one thing I use as well to cut back on time. And also in the nights, whenever I leave work, I make sure that I clean my shop. Back in the days, I used to just go home and be like, I'll just come 20 minutes before my client. Not every time, but I used to do it like 50-50. It depends on my mood. I'll just leave. But these days, like, I cannot go home knowing that my shop is not clean. I cannot. So what I do now, that's the last thing I do. Make sure my shop is nice and clean before I leave, because one thing with me, I'm gonna be running late. My first client, if I start at 9, I'm not gonna get here until 8:58, 2 minutes before. So I cannot leave a mess. I have to come early. And let me tell you guys what happened to me the other morning. While I was on my way to work, apparently I was speeding. According to the cop, I was speeding, and that was because I was late for work. Anyways, I wouldn't say I was speeding, but according to the speed limit, I was, because I was going like 45 miles per hour. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? Because that was like a 25 zone and I'm going 45. So the cop chased me all the way to work, guys. All the way to work. I was on the phone with my brother talking. While when I got to work, pulled up in my parking space, opened my car door, the cop was like, "Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, I've been trying to get your attention since the past 5 minutes." I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I said, what happened? He said, you were doing 45 in the 25 zone. I said, really? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm a sweetheart. So one thing with me, I'm going to be super sweet. So I was like, I'm so sorry. So, you know, he took my license and he did all that extra stuff. And he brought my license back, and then he was like, just be careful on the road. You don't have any citations or anything, so just be careful on the road and stop speeding. I'm like, thank you so much. But I'm like, this man been behind me for the past 5 minutes and I didn't notice he was trying to get, I guess my conversation was so deep, I guess, because, but you know what, actually at one point I heard like a siren. I looked up to look in my rear view mirror, but when I look up, the sun, what you call that, the thing that you pull down to block the sun, that was down, so it distracted me. So what I did was I put it up. So because I'm on the phone, I even forgot why I looked up in the beginning. I looked up to look behind me, but I got distracted with the sun blocker, whatever that is. I put it up, and then I went ahead with my conversation. So I think that's the time when he started to chase me. But guess what? I didn't see, and I got to work, and he came straight to work with me. He was like, "What do you do here?" I said, "I do nails." He said, "You going to work now?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay, be careful." And I'm so happy he didn't give me any ticket, because girl, 25 zone and I'm doing 45, that's a stretch. But yeah, I didn't even notice that's a 25 zone, to be honest. But now when I'm coming to work, I'm extra careful. I start leaving out way before time, because I cannot afford for this same cop to pull me over again. He's definitely not going to give me a second chance. So anyways, guys, like you guys can see, let's get back in the nail for a quick second. I'm using the Melody Susie drill, and this drill bit is from Pana. It's a medium-sized drill bit. That also I'm gonna leave in my description box. You can check that out as well. One thing, whenever I'm drilling, I always make sure that my pinky finger is resting on either my hand or the client's hand, because that's going to help you to keep the drill stable, and it's going to help you having like control over the drill. So you want to make sure that you practice to place your pinky finger. It's not possible to drill with your pinky finger like off the nail. It's not. You're not going to be able to control the drill, and you're going to cut your clients. So practice placing your pinky finger somewhere on your nail, on the client nail, wherever it's comfortable, but you need to have control over the drill. Also, whenever I drill, how I hold my drill, I hold my drill like I am writing. That's how I'm able to have a good grip of the drill. I just hold it like, hold your drill like you're holding a pen. It's simple. Just hold it like you're holding a pen, and then you place your pinky finger on either your hand or the client's hand. You can see based on how I'm doing it. I promise you, if you do it like this, if you hold your drill like this and practice it this way, you're going to have so much control over the drill. So like I said, usually I'm using my medium Pana bit, and I'm going to leave that in the description box. But yeah, this is how they came out. Super simple, super cute. And like I said, this combination is Naomi Nude and coconut milk white. Usually when I'm finished with the drill, I come in one more time just to go over my shape, because sometimes after you're done drilling, you know, the shape may shift a little bit. So you have to come back again with your hand file and give it like one last, you know, touch up, making sure this is the final look and everything is nice and tidy. Also, do you guys see how like my side walls are still tight? I'm not going in the side walls, I'm going just off the sides. So I'm not trying to eat my product out from the side of the nail. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Please do not put your file down that side wall and eat that product out. That's one thing. And also, whenever I'm done filing, I turn the client's hand from the client's view. I turn the client's hand, look at it from the client's view, because if I see anything that needs to be fixed, this is the perfect time to go in and fix that. After I'm done with all that, what I do is either my clients go and they wash their nails. Whenever they wash their nails, I don't let them use soap, or I use a lint-free wipe and some alcohol or my dehydrator, and I cleanse the nail. So we're going to be doing some cuticle stones on this middle finger. I'm using my Macart stone glue gel. I think it's like a gel glue kind of vibe. I'm going to leave that link also in the description. And I'm just going to, I place the glue on the nail, then I just place my rhinestone in the places that I want it. But yeah, this design was super simple, super easy to do. If you want to do like if you want to do this design, definitely go ahead. Let me know if you tried it. But if you're looking for something nice and simple for your clients, ombre is always a best option for you. Ombre, because ombre is faster than a French for me. If I'm looking for something fast but with a little bit of something to it, I'm always gonna go for a ombre look with some stones, like simple cuticle stones. That's my go-to look if I'm in a rush and I want to like jazz it up a little bit. Maybe I'll like put some swirls on one of the fingers. I'll put some swirls on one of the fingers and then just keep the rest of it ombre and put like a cuticle stone like this. But yeah, ombre is always a good bet for like a client who wants to do a little bit of something but don't want to do too much. It's like the go-to look for me. So I'm always doing ombres. I love ombres. Before I didn't like it. Y'all already know my story about the nail shop and doing the ombre that one time. That lady told me to take that thing off her nail because that thing was so ugly. I was like, yo, that's the worst experience so far I had with doing nails. Like the lady was like, can you do ombre? I'm like, yes, because I'm never gonna say no. I'm gonna try. And then, girl, why I'm like halfway through, not halfway through, I did like 2 fingers. And I'm like, Lord, this is not coming out right. But I don't want to stop, or I was a little bit embarrassed to tell her it's not coming out right. I don't know. But guess what? She told me like, just do something else because this don't look right. And I was happy she said that. I just went ahead and removed it. But yeah, we all have those experiences. So baby girl, if just keep doing what you do, one day you're going to end up loving your work, looking back and just be like, yo, I remember this time. You need the stories. You need all the mistakes, because when you're on stage telling your story, how you became rich, how you became the top, nail tech and all that stuff, you need all these stories, because this is what's going to make it fun and inspiring for other people. Anyways, guys, this is the end of the video. These came out super cute. Don't forget to like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Until next time, go on, big up on yourself. Take care, guys. See you in the next video. Bye.